member for Nedlands.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. The Education and Care Services National Law Bill 2024 marks a significant step forward in aligning Western Australia's regulatory framework with that of the rest of the country. The bill ensures stronger accountability and better care for children, reflecting a nationwide commitment to high standards in early childhood education. And having worked at Wansley, where we provided just about every form of early childhood education that it's possible to provide, from out-of-school hours care to long day care to family in-home care, I know very much how hard these educators work and their commitment to the children and the families that they provide that care for. So specifically, this bill changes a number of things. It repeals the Education and Care Services National Law WA Act 2012 and the Education and Care Services National Regulations, also 2012. But the core part of this bill will be to integrate changes already made at the federal level. The changes that are not yet part of the WA law and will come into effect when the national law is applied here are strengthening the safety of children in early childhood education and care services by addressing gaps between the national principles for child-safe organisations and the NQF, the National Quality Framework, and requiring that all family daycare coordinators complete child protection training prior to commencing employment. It will also improve safety and oversight in family daycare services by enabling improved access for regulatory authorities to family daycare residence level information on a services family daycare register, which will enable risk-based proactive approaches to regulation and assisting in the identification of family daycare educators during emergency situations. It will improve oversight and compliance tools for regulatory authorities through minor changes to the process for transfer of services between approved providers, and provide that cancellation or refusal of provider approval under the Commonwealth Family Assistance Law for lack of fitness and propriety is to be a specific ground for cancellation or refusal of a provider approval under the national law. So these are just some of the changes that we'll see. Issues of early childhood education are, of course, gendered, both in terms of providers. We know that it's a highly feminised workforce, but we also know that one of the reasons that early childhood education is so important is because of its central role for women in particular, for mothers in the workforce. Access to reliable and high quality early childhood education services allows women to pursue their careers with confidence, knowing that their children are in safe, nurturing and stimulating environments. We also know that the ability to balance work and family responsibilities is a key factor in achieving gender equality in the workplace, as well as the ongoing progress that we need to make in closing the gender pay gap. And by providing early childhood education services, we enable women to maintain and advance their professional lives, contributing to the economic prosperity and social development of women, families, and of course our communities as well. Early childhood education, of course, plays an instrumental role in the cognitive, social and emotional development of children. The early years, we know, are recognised as a formative period where the foundation for lifelong learning and development is established. And high-quality early education helps in developing critical thinking, problem-solving skills and emotional resilience. It also fosters social skills such as cooperation, sharing and empathy, which are essential not only just for school readiness, but for personal and professional success later in life. The benefits then of early childhood education extend beyond the individual child to society at large, leading to better educational outcomes, reduced social inequalities and a more skilled workforce. In my electorate, as I'm sure in everyone's, we are fortunate to have a number of high-quality early learning education centres dedicated to providing exceptional care and education to young children in my community, including the Learning Sanctuary, the West Leederville School of Early Education, Tall Tree Early Learning in Nedlands, Subi Care Early Learning Centre, the Nedlands School of Early Learning, Sparrow Early Learning in Nedlands, and the Subiaco School of Early Learning, to name a few. And the number and spread of these early learning centres is a reflection of the high need for just such services in my community. Earlier this year there was a fire at one of the early learning centres, and it caused a great deal of worry for many of the families in finding alternative care arrangements. A constituent rang my office on the day distressed to say that he was stuck at home, unable to go to work, while he frantically tried to find a replacement early childhood learning centre for his child. So early learning centres play an important role in the daily life of parents and families, and while my family is well beyond the early childhood education phase, I know how comforting it was as a parent to know that you were dropping off your child at a place that had their best interests and their stimulation and development at heart as well. The alignment of WA's regulatory framework with national standards through the Education and Care Services National Law Bill 2024 will enhance the quality and accountability of these early learning centres and make future reform easier also. The changes will ensure that all children, regardless of where they live, have access to the same high standards of care and education. So the benefits are multifaceted. For early learning centres, it means clearer guidelines and expectations, which can help improve service delivery and educational outcomes. For educators, it provides a consistent framework for professional development and practice, ensuring they have the necessary skills and knowledge to deliver high-quality education and care. And for parents, it does offer peace of mind knowing that the regulatory framework governing their children's education and care is consistent across the country. By investing in early childhood education, we are investing in the future wellbeing and prosperity of our nation. The key to having this best-in-class early learning sector will be the ability to attract workers with the right skills to the sector, and that's where our reforms to vocational education play a part. So I want to discuss briefly fee-free TAFE and how it relates to early childhood education. This is a great interest of mine, as education and training is an important sector in my electorate, and I spent much of my previous life engaged in education as both student and educator. Fee-free TAFE has had an enormous take-up and is one of the proudest achievements of the Cook Labor government. The Albanese and Cook government fee-free TAFE initiative has revolutionised access to education in Western Australia and across the nation, particularly in in-demand areas such as care, social assistance and healthcare. These initiatives have significantly reduced the cost of various skills and courses, making them more accessible for all West Australians. And one of the most important ways to view this initiative is its focus on early childhood education and care, which is crucial for the development of young children and our state's economy. In the scope of early childhood education, the initiative covers both Certificate 3 and Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care. Historically, the cost of these courses has been a barrier for many aspiring educators. For instance, in 2016, the cost for a student to study for their diploma in early childhood education was a staggering $7,000. Similarly, the cost for a Certificate 3 was $3,500. And these high fees made it very difficult for many individuals to pursue their passion and their natural skills for early childhood education, ultimately then affecting the pipeline of qualified professionals in this critical field. In a dynamic economy like WA's, we want people to be able to change their work easily as well and have access to affordable training for their desired profession. Recognising this issue, Labor in government implemented the Lower Fees Local Skills Program in 2021. This program aimed to make education more affordable and accessible by significantly reducing the costs of these courses. And under this program, the cost of studying for a diploma in early childhood education was reduced from $7,000 to $2,400. And similarly, the cost for a Cert 3 was brought down from $3,500 to $1,200. These reductions are a significant step towards removing financial barriers and encouraging more individuals to pursue these careers. However, the most transformative change came with the introduction of the fee-free TAFE initiative in 2023. Building on the success of the Lower Fees Local Skills Program, this initiative made both the Certificate 3 and the Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care completely fee-free. This means that everyone can access early childhood education, regardless of their financial situation. And this move has had a profound impact on the education sector. Further, given early childhood education is, as I've said, a female-dominated profession, this has had a profound impact on women's entry into a qualification and a career. And the results of this initiative have been remarkable. Early education and care courses have attracted some of the strongest interest among fee-free courses. This surge in interest indicates a growing recognition of the importance of early childhood education and the need for qualified professionals in this field. By making these courses fee-free, the Albanese and Cook governments have not only removed financial barriers, but also encouraged a new generation of educators to enter the field, ultimately benefiting young children, their families and the economy. The benefit to the economy is twofold. WA is experiencing a very low unemployment jobs market, which is fantastic, but it does of course put pressure on industries like early childhood education to find workers. By making TAFE training for their industry free, this allows new workers to enter the workforce and make it easier for people to retrain as well as early childhood educators. This allows far better job matching of skills. Early childhood education also allows women to return to the workforce quicker. The Albanese government has dealt with the other constraint in this industry, as we've heard, by paying for a 15% wage increase for early childhood educators, again bringing a pay rise to a highly feminised workforce. The success of the fee-free TAFE initiative stands in stark contrast with the policies of the previous Liberal National Government. Under their tenure, fees for TAFE courses increased by up to 500%, making education not just unaffordable but inaccessible for many people. This drastic increase in fees led to a significant decline in the number of people in training, with over 10,000 fewer individuals enrolled in courses. This decline had a detrimental impact on many sectors, but particularly on the education sector and the availability of skilled professionals in these fields. The comparison between the current and previous governments highlights the importance of affordable education in ensuring a skilled and capable workforce. The Liberal National Government's policies, which prioritised finances over accessibility, resulted in a decrease in the number of trained professionals and a subsequent decline in the quality of services provided. On the other hand, the Albanese and Cook government's commitment to making education accessible to all has led to an increase in the number of individuals pursuing careers in early childhood education and other in-demand fields. By removing financial barriers to education, we have empowered individuals to pursue their passions and contribute to their communities. This initiative not only benefits students, but also has a positive ripple effect on our entire communities. The fee-free TAFE initiative aligns with the government's broader goals of economic growth and social development. A well-educated and skilled workforce is essential for driving innovation, productivity and economic prosperity. By investing in education and making it accessible to all, the government is laying the foundation for a stronger and more resilient economy into the future. This initiative also addresses the issue of skills shortages in critical sectors, ensuring that there are enough qualified professionals to meet the growing demands of a growing population. The Albanese and Cook government fee-free TAFE initiative is a groundbreaking policy that has transformed access to education in Australia. By making courses in in-demand areas such as early childhood education and care fee-free, the government has removed financial barriers and encouraged more individuals to pursue careers in these critical fields, also reducing social inequalities.
Thank you.
As again, the success of this initiative stands in stark contrast read it but not say it, to the policies of the previous Liberal National Government, which increased fees and reduced the number of people in training. In finishing my contribution, can I say a huge thank you to all the early childhood educators who provide high quality care to the children, not just in my community, but across Western Australia, and acknowledge their contribution to our families and community, and I commend the bill to the House.